For some odd reason, Antifa decided to go to Atlanta and have a party.
What?
Well, when you're around, you find out.
I disrespect you.
And oh boy, they found out the hard way. I'm Jazz Borganzo, and this is what's next. Happy Monday, everyone. Jazz Borganzo here. Another What's Next, your daily dose. Hope you guys are doing well on this day. Well, I know I'm feeling pretty good. Feeling pretty good, excuse me. My Philadelphia Eagles advanced to the NFC Championship game, and of course, the Dallas Cowboys lost. So, it was good. But, turns out that something else also happened over the weekend. Remember Antifa? You know, these young hipsters, these oppressed, young people dressed in black and red and running around and terrorizing towns, pretty much for the better part of last, 5-10 years, ask Ben Shapiro, Ann Coulter, Jordan Peterson, a number of conservatives who Antifa just didn't like the cut of their jib. So, of course, they ran around protesting and terrorizing, making threats. Well, this is something different. Antifa decided to wake up one day, this weekend, and say, hey, how about we take a trip to Atlanta? Another member said, well, what's in Atlanta? Well, we can just terrorize and also go after the cops and shoot them and potentially kill them. Antifa says, hey, you know what? That's a hell of an idea. Oh, when you find, you're going to find out. And oh boy, they found out the hard way. This comes out of Breitbart. Leftist riot in Atlanta, light police car on fire, break windows. Yeah, because they must have been bored. Far-left protesters rioted downtown Atlanta on Saturday evening, lighting a police car on fire and breaking business windows. The protest reportedly began as a mostly peaceful demonstration, of course, had to be said by CNN, during a response to the death of a 26-year-old activist, Manuel Terán. Oh, yes, so they did have a purpose. Who was killed during a police sweep on Wednesday. Now, for anybody who saw the videos on Wednesday, these guys were hanging from trees and power lines, waiting for police to drive by and for them to ambush them. Yes, because, again, they were bored. And what Georgia Bureau of Investigation said was an exchange of gunfire with police that wounded a state trooper, according to Atlanta Journal-Constitution. The trooper remains unidentified and reportedly in stable condition after being taken to the hospital for surgery. Thank God for that. Prior to the rioting, protesters claimed no justice, no peace, no killer police, and Stop Cop City. Well, it took them a while to write all that down because most of them can't read nor write, which refers to the name of Atlanta police training site. They also chanted, stop police terror, free the activists, drop the charges, referring to how at least 7 other people have been arrested and charged with domestic terrorism in connection with Wednesday's law enforcement operation in the southern DeKalb Woods, noted the AJC. One person attempted to also chant, if they build it, we will burn it, in reference to the city's plans to build a training center for police and firefighters within several acres of the woods. One person attempted to also chant, the protests eventually turned violent, with police cars being set aflame while businesses were broken into. Police responded to multiple instances of property damage along Peachtree Street. The Atlanta Police Foundation also had its glass doors smashed in. This is one tweet. Antifa is burning Atlanta down right now. That was from Lips of TikTok. Fox News Atlanta. Largely peaceful protests. Of course, pulls the CNN, in their news segment about a violent attack downtown Atlanta by Antifa. The mayor just confirmed the arrestees were found with explosives. Yes, but they were still peaceful. Several arrests have been made at the time of the order and has been restored downtown space. This is still active and ongoing investigation. We will not be able to provide specifics on arrest numbers or property damage at this time, the Atlantic Police Department told reporters. We go from that to this. Fox News. Atlanta, domestic terrorism suspects seen smiling or stone-faced in anti-police riot booking photos. Six suspects, charged with the fiery Atlanta unrest were all from out of state. Out of state. Now, of course, as we all know, they're bussing them in.
Well, I think that there's a real blurring of the lines in the use of the word violence. Is property destruction violence?
Yes.
To some people, it certainly is.
To most. To anybody with common sense or brains in our head.
This idea that breaking windows or other acts of property destruction are the same as actual violence against humans.
Yes, they are, dude.
It's kind of a dangerous and slippery
Absolutely
concept.
not. You're a
And,
fucking clown. You're a
I mean,
fucking clown.
look, I don't think this is a smart move.
The 6 accused domestic terrorists arrested when anti-police protesters devolved into violence Saturday night in downtown Atlanta were seen either smiling or stone-faced in their booking photos. The Atlanta Police Department identified 6 suspects. All came from outside the state. Fox News Digital on Sunday. They are Najir Jair, 24, of Nashville, Tennessee; Madeline Fiola of Spokane, Washington; Ivan Ferguson, Nevada; Graham Everett, Decatur, Georgia. Oh, so he was from Georgia. Okay. Francis Carroll of Kennebunkport, Maine. You know, there are rich people living there. But anyway. Emil Murphy of Michigan. Yes, so we have a very diverse group of peaceful protesters. The 6 are each facing 8 misdemeanors and felony charges. The misdemeanor charges are pedestrian in a roadway, willful obstruction of law enforcement officer, riot, unlawful assembly. They each face felony counts of second-degree criminal damage, first-degree arson, interference with government property, and domestic terrorism. That is the biggest one, domestic terrorism. The Daily Mail reported that a person with the same name, age, and downtown as Carroll was one of the 5 suspects arrested just last month in a domestic terrorism and other charges at self-proclaimed autonomous zone at the site of Atlanta Public Safety Training Center. So they were already scoping the area out before they carried this nonsense. And there they are. They're wonderful people. Parents, mom and dads, aren't you proud of your kids? You know? Parents are just as big as assholes. The Atlanta Police Department did not address Fox News Digital question of why or how Carroll was released from custody in December. Gee, I wonder why he got out. In December, the Mail also reported that Carroll was the son of millionaire Maine surgeon. Yes. White privilege. Who grew up in one of the most luxurious beach towns in the East Coast, home to the Bush family compound. Kennebunkport, Maine. Yeah. But still, peaceful protest. On Sunday, Atlanta Mayor Andrew Jenkins appeared on CBS and rebuked the claims that he and anti-police riot scene oversight in the city were not violent, noting how the suspects had explosives, burned down a police car, and broke windows in businesses. Jenkins stopped short of claiming the protesters were part of any particular organization, such as Black Lives Matter or Antifa, which they were. They were Antifa, and they work hand in hand with BLM, but vowed domestic terrorism charges to make sure anyone provoked violence gets held accountable. Saturday's protests were in response to the death of a 26-year-old environmental activist, Manuel Tehran, who was shot and killed by Georgia State Police. And again, I wonder why. Tehran reportedly went by the name of Tortuguita, identified as non-binary because, of course, it's 2023, and used they and it. Well, they and it got the shit, didn't they? Authority said it's, well, as I said in the beginning of this, when you around, you're going to find out. And they found out. This guy, Tehran, found out the hard way by getting blasted and put the fuck down. You want to attack police? This is the shit that you're going to get involved with. And of course, as far as the other 6 wonderful people, of course, a few of them came from money. You know, they weren't oppressed. But if you ask them, they are oppressed. You know, because of their whiteness. I'm sure they were. I'm glad Atlanta police acted the way they did. I'm glad they took control of the situation. I'm glad that the Atlanta mayor said what he said to a point while not labeling them as domestic terrorists, part of Antifa, because they clearly were. And like I said just moments ago, they work hand in hand with Black Lives Matter, who is also another domestic terrorist organization. But yeah, we're still waiting for their arrests, you know, because of the summer of 2020. Something happened there. Well, I don't know what it was. But I'm glad they did what they did. I'm glad that one officer who was shot is going to recover and that no officers were killed in this incident. But if you people think that Antifa just went away, they only go after those like, conservative activists or what have you. And, going after, colleges and, protesting at high schools and what have you. No, 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 no. That's not what they do. They sit there, they plot, they plan, and just like the one who scoped out the area back in December, who was arrested and for some unknown reason was released, they carried it out. And thank God, worst case was property damage. But like that one CNN contributor who said, well, can you really call it domestic terrorism when you burn down a building and destroy property? Nah, because it's different than people. Just remember that. And let me reiterate, the guy's an ass clown. I call it the way I see it because it's facts. And with that being said, I'm Jazz Berganzo. This is What's Next. Want to see more just like this? Please leave a comment below. Like it, share it, subscribe to it. And we'll catch you guys next time. Peace.